of pregnant women?
I'm sure it does. If they want to get into it, the dirty war.
Yeah, if you want to get into some heavy reading.
Yeah. Let's pull back to now that the emotions have subsided and we're a little bit more
I was just trying
worried
to make
about
an analogy there.
Argentinian politics. Let's go back to the game now that the edge has been taken off and maybe we've calmed down. So the game started off pretty great for USA.
Well, wait, what did you think of the lineup?
I was like, "Where's Gio Reyna?" Like, and where's and that was my thought. Also, where's Brendan Aronson?
Against England?
Pardon?
Do you think he'll play against England?
Who, Brendan?
No, I for England, I would have the same lineup. I would just put CCV instead of Zimmerman, and I would put Reyna in the lineup and Aronson in the lineup.
I don't think you need to change a thing unless these guys are ran dogged. If they're super tired. The thing is that first half, they had a lot of energy left at that first half. Second half, I don't know. They both those teams are starting to run silly in that second half. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, emotions and were high, and the game was pretty back and forth for a while in the second half. But I mean, I think the reason you don't see Reyna and you don't see Aronson start is because despite them being probably better players than the alternative, just for example, the Musa, McKinney, Adams midfield works so well together. It doesn't necessarily work as well with a different cog in that piece. You know what I mean? And then Reyna, and they're both basically center attacking midfielders. They're not really wingers, despite the ability to play out on the wing. But Timothy Weah, and proving by getting a goal and being one of the best players out on the field today, like, he is a pure winger and he can play our system well, and his value is higher than even Reyna or Aronson out there, despite them being probably on an individual level better players.
Well, I will let you guys know now. Can't talk. I will let you guys go now. I got to do some things before the family leaves for Thanksgiving. They'll be going down south. I'll be anyway, I got some things I need to do, take care of and whatnot. So I will. You guys doing something Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll be streaming Wednesday as always. If anybody else wants to join.
I might check in Wednesday, but for now, I gotta go.
Oh, sounds like a plan. All right, brother.
All right.
Thanks, Connor. No soccer.
Apparently history as well.
I love history too. But Toke, USA started off well, like you were saying, and there was problems with the lineup questions with the initial lineup selection.
I liked it. I was happy going in personally.
Yeah, I got excited, and then to realize that we have Brendan Aronson coming off the bench. All right, we got something coming. We got a Premier League level coming off the bench. That got me excited. That made me feel a little bit better, because when I'm looking at Britain subs, when Marcus Rashford's like part of their subs, and oh man, it was just like
it's tough to look at a team so stacked, but that's the thing, man. Aronson came on and he played really well when he came on. Honestly, I was about to
Grealish, Eric Deer, Phil Foden. Oh, God. Those are the subs for England. Like, I'm like, I know that we got Brendan Aronson. You can,
yeah. You know what? I like Brendan Aronson. He's young enough. He could be something special, man.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I just loved it. I've just been a fan so long. It's never seen a time where the U.S. controlled the game and had so much possession.
It was so good to see. Man. It was first half. After we scored that goal, Mrs. Spitfire had to leave the house because I got a little too loud. And she was working, and she got a little upset with me because I got a little too loud, but I couldn't help myself. Oh,
dude.
Do you know what I mean? Like, when USA scored that goal, I exploded.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm in an apartment.
It felt so good. It felt like it was coming. It felt earned. It felt like we were dominating, like you said.
Those are perfect words for it. You're right. It did feel like you knew that there was a goal in this game. You know what I mean? Like I looked at my girl before they scored, and I looked and I was like, you know what? At least we know one thing: they're gonna score today. You know, we don't know how it's gonna turn out, but at least we know they're gonna score. Because you were right. You could just see it coming, and just the final ball was the only thing missing, man. Usually when we saw them in qualifying, they'd make those good crosses and get those headers, you know, and that final ball was just missing. And then to lose that opportunity, I really thought they were going to score an own goal on that one.
Oh, that was yes. That one was close. And then there was another one that was really close that man, if he put that, Josh Sargent somehow found a way to get that on frame. That first header opening minutes. Imagine that plus the second goal. Oh,
yeah, that Sargent header was good, man. That was a good header, just didn't go in. You know,
that got you feeling good. That got me thinking like, whoa. The USA is looking like
he played well,
and people started commentate. They're like, I mean, why is Wales playing so afraid? They're sitting back. They're parking the bus. They're afraid of USA right now.
Yeah, they were mad nervy too in the first half. They were making mistakes. We just really needed to have capitalized on another one, you know.
Yeah.
And it just was. You can't feel any comfort with a 1-goal lead in the World Cup, you know, because. You know, that's the thing too, is everybody just thinks like, oh, okay, well, this sucks. We're going to get rolled by England. But there are plenty of games. And being a U.S. fan, I've seen them on our end a bunch where not as good, where a lesser team beats a better team just by playing hard. You know, when you're talking about just one game and not like a 38 game season, you know, every game is tight and tough. It's not usually 6-2.
No, it's not. And Toke, the other thing that I think that might be lost in this is that Wales are a good team.
Like, yeah, we made them look worse than they are.
We made a good team look way worse than they are. We made a good team literally shiver in their boots for the first half. They went like, holy fuck. And they're a good team. They could add, they're a final 16 team in a past World Cup, right?
They haven't been to a World Cup in 50 years or something.
Oh, that's like what it was. I'm thinking Iceland. It was the Euros where they had success, right?
Yeah, the Euros, the most recent one, Wales did pretty good.
But Daniel James, Gareth Bale, Harry Wilson, Aaron Ramsey, these are good players. And Nico Williams, very, very good. Davies, Mafam, Rodon, very good. And their bench, Joe Allen, who didn't get in, Brandon Johnson, who did, Kiefer Moore, you've been hearing things about, Joe Morel, who looked good. And let's see if there's anybody else. They have a good lineup, and they're similar to US. They are very similar to US, except that they have more veteran top end talent with Gareth Bale.
Yeah, I mean, their star is a brighter star, but really on a whole,
and they also have what's his face, Aaron Ramsey. I think that's another good old head to have.
Right. It's good to have, like, it's good for your stars to also be veterans. Whereas, you know, and it's funny, all this shit you see people talk about Pulisic, look when he gets the ball. Suppose it, you know, everybody had a lot to say about this Wales team being better than us. They collapsed 4 guys on him.
They were panicking every time he got the ball, to the point where they were kicking him and trying to destroy his career. They're trying to end his career. They're like, you know, if we accidentally break your bone, yeah,
we're not against that.
That's what was happening there. And Pulisic was taking some abuse. And honestly, there was a moment there where I was like, is he coming off? And then he just went right back to the center line. He said, "Fuck these motherfuckers." And I was like, oh man, Pulisic is on a fucking mission.
Dude, he played well. I honestly, personally believe that, and I almost thought this about everyone on the team until the penalty. But other than Zimmerman, nobody had a bad game. It wasn't like, oh boy. They all played well. It wasn't like, oh boy, you know, we did okay, but
Like,
we got torched over here.
Who made mistakes? The mistake was Walker, and honestly, Walker had a good game beyond that mistake.
Yeah, he did. Leading up to that, he was having a great game. Him and Reem played so well.
Reem, dude. Him and no, they were a great team. They really were.
They were. I'm so happy Aaron Long did not play in this game, because we definitely would have lost this one.
Clear backup, and so is these guys are the top 2 center backs for USA. It for right now at least. It's these two.
Yeah, and this was
do you see
team.
them? Were you saying that you see them both starting for against England, or do you think that they're going to need a rest?
I would start them both against England, knowing that somebody's coming off at halftime.
You got 5 subs.
Oh yeah, no, use them. I'm glad we used all our subs, but the subs were a little questionable. I mean, Acosta, I have less hate for than most other people. I feel like he can shut it down. But the thing is, that's where he lacks, is you can really see where a Musa or a McKinney next to Tyler Adams can create positive passes. You know, there was a lot of times actually they knew to like lay off. Acosta had the ball in dangerous positions and could not make that pass.
What if it was Georgi Mihailovic in that same spot?
I don't know. You know,
I don't think so today, because I think that, you know, that play that at the end of the game that Acosta made to stop Gareth Bale, he got that yellow card. I don't know if Georgi Mihailovic is making that play.
No, but that's where Acosta does save you. He can come into a game like he did today and really lock it down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's competent enough to hold the ball, but he's not making great probing passes.
We got to see Jordan fucking Morris instead of Paul Areola, and he had moments on the ball, but I mean, I still would have rather seen somebody else. Yeah. I think
he did nothing wrong, but he did nothing, and he also wasn't in there a very long time. The one thing we didn't do was like use the fact that he's fast. We should have just booted it up the field and let him run on it. But you know, I don't know who else would it, like. I thought Reyna should have came in at that point, but there's a lot of question marks about, well, Reyna didn't play because he's not fit. What's going on here? And then, but Haji Wright, I don't know. He came in. He was invisible.
I felt like Josh Sargent. How'd you feel about Josh?
I felt like he played a good game, and like I think solid, that header, right? You can't like. Oh yeah, solid. And that header you can't like blame him on. It was a good shot that just didn't go in.
He was linking up with the boys, and he was creating openings for Pulisic and for Weah. I felt he did a lot. He did a lot of his job.
Yeah, and the pressure on the ball too. You know, that was the thing that really was one of the best, like the funnest part of the game to watch, was that we won the second ball all the time. You know, we were. Yeah, no, we were just winning the second ball.
We win the second ball, and it squirts. They get it right to Pulisic, and Pulisic like on a breakaway, and then there's Tim Weah making the perfect run. And Tim Weah, oh my god,
that was a thing of beauty. That was so chef's kiss.
Pulisic turns, bam, he's in, and just Weah in, and the Weah goal, like the way he put it in. There was no question. Like it was a confident take.
Right. And that was not an easy shot. He hit that on the outside of his foot to send it into the corner.
Mm-hmm. And everything that led up to that, man, it was just like, wow, it felt like it was coming. And when's it coming? And all of a sudden that moment happened, and there's that break. It pops out. All of a sudden, they catch him on the counter real quick. Pulisic turns, and I'm in my stomach flies up to my heart. I'm like, oh man, this could be it. And then the run continues, and I mean, it was an absolute eruption in me, where I was screaming like I haven't screamed in over 8 years.
I punched the sky, man. I did the fist, you know, I mean, I was jacked, dude. It was just beautiful. It was so good to see a team play so complete. And then even though in the second half, they didn't have as much control of the game, they still were not like outdone. You know what I mean? They still played well.
It continued. The first half, like they still played well after the goal. Like they didn't lose their they didn't lose it. Like, they actually kept a little bit of the heat on. The heat turned off. It faded, but the steam was still coming out of the kettle.
Oh yeah, they really didn't like let the gas pedal off. They really played a smart game. You know, that's where like the result is so disappointing.
Yes,
if they
it
played
feels
such a
disappointing.
complete game, they played such a complete game, and
they
like
deserve
Wales,
3 points for that. Yeah,
they do, and then Wales doesn't deserve anything because they didn't even
No.
have a moment. They literally didn't even have a moment of brilliance. We gifted it
Mhm.
to them. You know, it wasn't like, oh, he did this amazing run, but then they tore him down in the box, or you know, they didn't have a good moment. They had one shot on goal, and Matt Turner thankfully made an amazing save. And that was like it.
Matt Turner, hell of a game. Got settled in a few moments, a couple moments early. Like, he was taking a weird pass or a weird goal. Like, there was a goal kick that flew all the way back into him, and that settled him. And like it was, and all of a sudden he started settling into the game. He looked really good, and Dest looked fantastic. He needed a sub though from Yedlin, and Yedlin.
Oh yeah,
looked.
I don't think Yedlin looked bad. I just think he was told to get in there and cross the crap out of the ball, and that's what he did.
A few of those moments. Let's go line by line between the guys real quick, but you go on with Dest.
No, Dest was. I think Dest had a great game, but his yellow was soft. I feel like that was a play like you would say, oh, the guy's already going out of bounds. Don't slide tackle him there. But I say, yes, you do. Assert your dominance on the game. You know what I mean? Put a stamp on it. And that was a really soft yellow, which I think these yellows are going to come back to haunt us, but hopefully not.
We find the American Jordi Alba and Serginho Dest. I mean, he was up and in their hair all day long, creating problems, and he was pretty decent in the defense. I liked what Serginho did.
Yeah, his defensive game was pretty good, especially considering that's the weaker part of his game. I mean, I think he recovered well on recoveries. He actually got up enough to head the ball enough. Like that was the other thing, man. We were really intercepting the ball a lot. He had a lot of interceptions. Felt like obviously McKinney and Adams did as well. But yeah, I think he was smarter with his defense. He was able to get in the channels more and get those interceptions.
Walker Zimmerman had a solid game, except for his one major fuck up. He was so excited. He went through the player. I think it was Gareth Bale.
It was Gareth Bale. And it was so unbelievably stupid because we were under some pressure, but we were defending well and nobody was making those stupid tackles. We were defending well enough without making stupid tackles, and he just quite literally, I don't know. He like to do something so stupid. I wonder how big the check is he's getting.
Tim Ream, stupendous game.
Agreed. There was only that one time where they both kind of got torched, but that one like it was.
And who bailed them out?
Well, because the guy couldn't shoot. It's that Johnson guy, and he just shot it right at Turner.
Oh, he shot it right at Turner. I remember they shot it right at Turner. I actually was not worried at that moment. Like, there was something like
I wasn't either.
There was some, those moments where, that was one of those moments where, like, it's against the run of play, and like this guy just doesn't seem to have the confidence. Yeah, maybe he's got it. But boom, it went right to the goalkeeper, and I was like, yeah, as expected. Launch it, and they almost got a chance out of the other end too.
Right, and because his angle wasn't amazing, like I felt extremely comfortable that no matter where he tried to place that, Turner had it, but he just put it right into his chest.
Anthony Jedi Robinson. How do you feel about him?
Kid's a stud. I mean, he played amazing. He didn't get as many crosses in as I would have liked to have seen, but he was a stud. He played well. I think he got called up for a pretty soft foul that resulted in a free kick, which is the only nervy parts of the game we ever had was when they had a free kick. But I think he was solid. I think he was solid defensively. And I think he was good going forward like he normally is.
I thought he was super solid today. But he wasn't great today, but all the same, he was always present. He had a lot to handle. Not only did he have to handle offensive duties and to back up Christian Pulisic often all day long was he had to track back and make sure that Gareth fucking Bale didn't slip behind him and just pot one. Hell of a day for Anthony Robinson on the defensive end. On the offensive end, a little always there. So great day from him overall.
Totally agree.
Yunus Musa, holy cow! Thank God we got that guy.
He is so calm on the ball. It quite literally, he doesn't lose the ball. And he makes the right passes. He is such a solid player. It's ridiculous. You don't necessarily think of him all the time because he doesn't necessarily have all the flashy plays or all the assists or whatever, but he is a definite major cog in the machine of our offense.
I almost could say the exact same thing about Tyler Adams. Holy cow, thank God the American team has that guy.
He probably had the best game of anybody today.
Absolutely,
he was probably
unreal.
The best player on the field.
He was he captain today? Or
oh yeah, he's captain for the whole thing.
So
yeah,
absolutely unreal. He's Americans' Jordan Henderson.
if we, I'm sure it's something he's always wanted.
But holy cow! I mean, like, just what this guy did all game long, the work he put in on both sides of the ball, and it was the engine of the team. And man, oh man, without him and Musa and this next guy, really, holy shit, USA has 3 baller midfielders. Weston fucking McKennie. Holy shit, thank God we have that guy. This whole midfield, absolutely stunning. What national teams, other national teams, would these 3 be starting? And are they better than we realize? There's something about McKennie, Adams, Musa that I'm now seeing and realizing that, holy shit, these guys are not to be fucked with.
Well, and that's why Reyna and Aronson can't get on the field, because that midfield trio is so good together. And like, I do think we don't give these guys enough credit for being as good as they are, because they've never really put it together. Like qualifying was a stumble. You really saw what everybody thought could have been in this first half. That is this team firing on all cylinders the proper way. And that you can't ask for much more than that.
The best midfield was the American midfield, and that's against the midfield with Nico Williams, Harry Wilson, Ampadu, Aaron Ramsey, and Callum Roberts. The best midfield was McKennie, Adams, Musa.
Yeah, that is such that partnership, like that. Those 3 guys play so well together, and because they can both, like Adams is the only one lacking slightly offensively in that group. Other than that, they can all take care of everything. You know what I mean? And I was shocked to see, I don't know if you noticed, but early on in the game, McKennie and Musa were basically playing the wings with like Weah and Pulisic pushed in a little bit. They had chalk on their boots the whole game, which is funny because usually they like to sit centrally. But that's where you had all that possession, because you had Jedi not only having to only deal with Pulisic, but you had Musa all the way out on the wing, as out on the touch line as well, and it all worked so well. I don't know why Zimmerman had to come and piss in our lemonade.
A lot. That's true, and also, I will maybe a little should be said about Greg and the stuff he's been trying to do and install on the plan, and all the questions along the way that we have given him, and the consternation and the shit and the little pokes from the fans and pundits, the questions. But I gotta say, despite all that noise, he's been able to pull these guys together and get a result. They got a result today. Yes, it was disappointing. Yes, it was bunk. Yes, it was. But holy shit, I guess I realized that Greg did a much better job than anybody was giving him credit for.
Well, I mean, he didn't do a lot of great. Well, a lot of the things we criticize Greg for didn't happen today, right? He definitely had the right lineup to start the game. He had the right game plan to start the game.
Game plan, yes.
And then they kept it going. I can find reasoning for his subs. Like Acosta, again, I'm not against Acosta. And then you got to get
Jordan. You got to get the guys. I felt like Gio Reyna over Jordan, right?
Oh, most certain. That was the one Greg thing where it was just like, what are you doing?
Brendan Aaronson's the obvious. Like I said, like that's like your number. If Brendan Aaronson's coming off your bench, holy shit, we got Premier League level midfielder, attacking midfielder coming off the bench. That's sick.
And it was good to see him play well in the midfield. I feel like for the USA team, he's never played well in the midfield position. He's played well out on the wing, but not in midfield. So it was great to see when he did come in, he actually did play well. Like it was a bit, so often you make subs and sometimes they're like for like, or sometimes it's like, okay, well, we're sacrificing just to have like the warm body protect the lead or whatever, right? But not with Aronson coming in from a like.
No, you get stronger or something actually, because the guy who is playing has gotten weaker, and all of a sudden you're putting in a guy who's basically a like for like replacement for the guy who started the game, which is
exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. There was so many things that don't usually go right for the American team that made today, even with a disappointing result, just made it fun to watch the game.
And a lot of those things that went right had to do with that front line of Tim Weah, Josh Sargent, Christian Pulisic. The way Josh Sargent pulled everybody away from Tim Weah and all day long, away from Christian Pulisic all day long, even though Christian Pulisic is attracting 4 men at times. Josh Sargent had to do a job. Tim Weah scores a goal, and not only that, I just felt like he was everywhere. He was everywhere where he needed to be.
He had such an amazing game. The one thing that we didn't do well is he was roasting, toasting that kid or whoever it was on his side, and we should have fed it more over there. We should have done more ball. Like,
they were really focused on getting it over to Pulisic. Didn't it seem that way? They were focused on getting it over to Pulisic side and Antony, and they were tearing it up. But then there was those moments where Sergiño Dest rocked that outside far shot. I thought it was a great shot, man. If he just took that shot a little differently, it went on frame. That could have been the opening goal of the match, and I was ready for it.
Yeah, not mad at that shot at all, honestly. Just the execution, because he puts it on frame. He can drain that shot too. So it's like he can either right, and even if it doesn't go in. If it's on frame, it's not getting caught. You know what I mean? So the ball is bouncing in front of the net. So it's just it was just so fun to watch a team not just like feel like you're smacking yourself in the forehead the entire time. Like, why?
And we created that space, by the way, going to the far corner, opening up that pathway for Sergiño Dest. It parted like the seas for Moses, and bam, Sergiño Dest cracks that shot, and it's just like, wow. At that point, you realize, Wales is in trouble. USA is not just knocking on the door; they are threatening to score. That was in that heat of that moment, and then Josh Sargent makes some moves, and then Christian Pulisic, our number 10, maybe the best guy on the pitch. Who's the best guy on the pitch? It had to be Christian Pulisic.
It was either him, Way, or Adams. The three of them just had amazing games.
Not Gareth Bale, not Daniel James, not Nico Williams, not Harry Wilson. not Ben Davies. It was freaking Christian Pulisic, Tim Weah, Adams, and Musa. Those were the best fucking guys on the pitch. And McKennie were the best guys on the pitch. It was really the 5 Americans. McKennie, Adams, Musa, Pulisic, Weah. Best 5. Robinson and Ream also in that honorable mention. And Dest. I guess Zimmerman and Sargent would be the second tier. Oh, and you can't say and enough about Matty Turner. Like, they were all on another tier today.
Well, thankfully, Matt Turner didn't have to prove himself very much, and but what I did like is
almost got that penalty.
He guessed right though. If
he was there.
If Bale had tried to place that slightly more and not just like smashed it, that's a save.
Yeah.
That was painful to see him guess right and get a hand to it. I just don't understand why Zimmerman would do that. Not only do you know that that's reckless and people can get away with it, but like the way the game was being officiated up until that point, you got to know he's going to give a penalty as soon as you get down. You know what I mean? It just,
Before we address how to go into this next game for America, what does Wales do going into their next game? They're going to be playing Iran. What changes do they make? I'm leaving Daniel James in and Gareth Bale, but I'm not sold on Ampadu. I like getting Harry Wilson. I might want to think about making Gareth Bale my striker at a certain point and running Daniel James and Harry Wilson on either side, or Nico Williams on either side. But these are the changes I'm thinking about making. That 3 in the back, I don't think it worked for them. I think they got to change something there. Joe Allen's got to be considered. He's just such a good player in their midfield to leave off. I mean, there is no midfielder. They have Aaron Roberts. They have Aaron Ramsey and nobody else. Like, Callum Roberts is an outside wingback. Ampadu is like a forward. Wilson and Williams are both forward wingers. Ramsey was on an island in that midfield. They got to get Joe Allen and Ramsey out there or something like that. And that's what I'm thinking for Wales. What are you thinking there?
I don't think. I mean, I honestly don't care.
I know, but it's a fun process to talk about.
No, but I think you're right. I think they won't go. They won't do 3 in the back anymore. But what I do think is they're not. I don't know. Either we just made them look bad, or they're not nearly as good as we thought.
Collectively.
Because I don't think I think everybody and their brother is just considering they're going to win that Iran game, and I don't necessarily think they are.
No,
I don't think they're positive.
Iran had good moments against England. Like,
not only just that, but they're not positive enough with the ball. Right. You know, they've got a Gareth Bale, but really, what did they have, or what can they do other than, set pieces?
Yeah, but a back to their wall Iran versus a back to their wall Wales. I think I'll take the back to the wall Wales over the back to the wall Iran, but I see what you're saying, because they're not back to the wall yet. This is middle game. And Iran is going to be riding high off of scoring 2 goals on England. Like, they knew they were going to get beat by England. And at a certain point, it looked like they could have escaped with like a 1 or 2-0 game, or a 3-0 game. But then it started getting out of hand really quickly, and then they scored all of a sudden, and then they scored again. And Iran turned a really horrible showing into, I mean, they salvaged it as much as you can, right? A 6-goal loss. They got 2, and for a small nation like them, soccer-wise, to do that against the big boy in Iran, I thought a big boy in England, I thought that at least that's something they could take out of it.
Yeah, I agree. I would not be surprised. Like, I think this group is just going to be tough, man. Like, I don't think England is just going to come in and walk.
Iran won the group for to get into the World Cup.
Yeah, they won their qualifying group. Yeah, over Japan.
Yes, over Japan, who is a respected team.
Yeah, I think this is. I think everybody just has their pre notions of what's going to happen, and
wow, you have a great point. Wow, I'm starting to realize that Iran might finish above Wales.
I see them tying, and I don't think England's just going to waltz right in and roll over us. So like, obviously it would have to be a lesser team beating a better team for us to win the game.
If we lose 3-1, how do you feel about a 3-1 loss?
Depends on how the 3-1 looks. Depends on what happens for the
3-1. Pulisic scores. It was 1-0 going into the first half with USA winning 1-0.
Oh, I would feel awful.
England wins, and England scores 3 goals in the second half to win it. USA doesn't score a goal. It ends 3-1, but we got a goal, and we look good against the half on England.
No, I would not feel good about that. Like, I would feel better if England was up 1-0 at halftime. We tied it. Then they went ahead in like the 84th minute and then just got another one because we were stretched thin. That would be a 3-1 defeat that I wouldn't mind. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. I like how we painted that out. Like, those are great scenarios that could very well happen. And also, USA could tie to a 1-1, 0-0.
Oh, most certainly.
And also, USA can win a tight nail biter. There's no way they win more than by multiple goals. Their only game the game they were going to win by multiple goals was this Wales game and against Iran. Against England, oh man, if they pull it off.
I mean, the only way they win by multiple goals against England is like kind of the scenario that we laid out. Like, it's nothing.
Red card for England.
Right. Or it's like 0-0 late in the game, and then we end up getting a goal, and then they're just kind of barking at each other. You know what I mean? And trying to and stretch too thin, and we get another one. That would be how I see us winning by more than one goal if we were to win.
Well, this is a little ugly. So England doesn't have a single yellow card.
Yeah, that's gonna come back. That's gonna hurt. Like, either Dest or McKinney or Adams or somebody is missing the Iran game, and not for just a rest.
We have 4 yellow cards. McKinney, Dest, Ream, and Acosta.
4 the Acosta one hurts too, because what if McKinney gets one early, Adams gets one early, and then he comes in and gets one. Then we have nothing left subs in the
gone. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a little disconcerting, but then again, how is the England game called? You know what I mean? Are they gonna England's not? Dude, they're physical, dude, so is it gonna be?
We are fucked. I feel because of that.
I don't think so.
That yellow card issue truly makes me feel like we are in a little bit of an issue. You have to mitigate that somehow, because there's going to be yellow card. It's going to be yellow card palooza against USA versus England. There's going to be yellow cards dished out like hotcakes on both sides.
I mean, maybe depends on how tight the game is called.
And if you just accept that you're going to lose McKinney, you're going to lose Ream and Dest, then you start them. Like, if you're accepting that you could lose them for the Iran game and replace them for that game and absolutely maximize what you can get against England, then, maybe you make that play.
That's what you have to do. You can't play for the Iran game. Like, you can't sandbag it and just be like, whatever.
That's the question. Do you sandbag this game and rest, knowing you can absolutely win the Iran game and get points? And 4 points will take you through, probably, with the way this first game worked out.
Because Iran and Wales could tie. We could tie England. And then Wales and England could end up tying. You know what I mean? It's not so simple.
England's going to beat Wales. England's going to destroy Wales.
I mean, they should.
No,
but
again, I can already see it. If we did that to Wales, England's going to do better to Wales. We are not to be trifled with. Wales is the 3rd or 4th weakest team in this division. By everything we've seen, we've seen 180 minutes of football. USA and England are the best 2 teams in the group.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're the best 2 teams in the group for sure. And I thought that going in.
I didn't think that. I'm fucking in a new fucking world, Tokyo. I'm thinking oh my gosh, we're gonna be lucky to score a goal. And yeah, we will be lucky to score a goal, but all the same, we are actually a little bit better than that. We're better than Wales.
I'm not gonna, I don't know. Maybe it's just from being an old grumpy man, but like, I'm not gonna count those chickens before they hatch, type of thing. Like England, it's not just a guarantee England's gonna come in and stomp us. It's not a guarantee that Wales is gonna beat Iran. No longer a
guarantee. They were looking a little, not through us, but they were looking at us like, yeah, we're just gonna mount that and just ride that. And now they're looking at us like we're a scorpion. And they're like, oh, shit, we might need to wear gloves. We might need metal tongs. We might need more preparation to handle this poisonous bug that could kill us in order to get past us. Because that's what USA is now. They're a scorpion that is going to require good preparation to be able to get past.
I think so. And like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, England wasn't playing well leading up to this tournament, not scoring goals. And now they might have just blown their load. 6 goals. They just think it's coming easy. And then
Harry Kane took a knock too, didn't he?
I didn't watch the game.
I did. Harry Kane took a knock, took a few knocks. And so Harry Kane is going to be, he's having questions on his ankle. So that's going to be something to watch out for as well. He didn't even score. What
happens, like, I don't know how, I don't watch a lot of the English, like, I haven't seen many games.
Jude Bellingham is who you got to watch out for, man. Jude Bellingham played lights out for England today. Declan Rice played really well, but Jude Bellingham was like the heart and the soul of the team, making everything happen. Got it up to Bakary Saka, who scored 2 goals. Ross Sterling looked out of this world. He missed some things, but just Ra looks like you could put a golden boot bet on Ra for sure.
Well, I mean, how do they handle adversity? What happens if it gets to be the 30th minute, it's 0-0, and not only have they not scored, but we frustrated them.
We match up. We're taking our starting lineup matches up, Toke. Are the rest of our 18 does not match up, but I am starting to believe that our starting 11 matches up with the likes of fucking England. And I know they have Harry Kane, who's obviously would be like the best player in the game. In fact, they have more of the best players on the pitch, but I'm starting to rethink that USA's got guys that can match up against Luke Shaw and cause him problems. They've got guys that are going to make old slabhead forget how to play football at Harry Maguire. I'm talking about. They're going to have John Stones is really good. They're going to have Kieran Trippier is very good shit. And a little scary, but they're still going to have moments where Kieran Trippier is going to be playing too far up in offense, and he's going to think like, I don't have to worry about Jedi. I'm a fucking Sith, and all of a sudden, bam. Jordan Pickford's picking it out of the back of the net like his latest boogie out of his nose. Bakary Saka is like, oh shit, we really have to pay attention to that guy. And Ross Sterling.
We got to pay attention to this whole team, but it's not. I've seen us beat teams we had no business beating before. That shit happens all the time. So I just was happy to see them play well. Mm-hmm. And it gives us at least hope that we're, and like, we don't have to sit here and defend forever garbage about how we're just about to get smoked. Like, it's not like that.
It's actually incredible to be disappointed like that. None of us were expecting. I don't think it was in the realm of possibilities, but the realm of possibilities, we put that in as like an 8% chance that USA might win this game or just blow it, and we're gonna feel a little miffed about it, but still was a great game overall. And that was in the small percentage of chances, less than 8% in my opinion. And man, and all of a sudden now I'm realizing maybe it was actually more in the cards. Maybe we are better than we think.
I think we're better than you give us credit for, my man. I'm glad your eyes have been opened. Listen, I'm gonna bounce out, but I would love to hear you continue to wax poetic, but I'm going to bounce out on you, my man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Tokyo. Check out FC Tokyo's channel on YouTube. Awesome friend of the show. Great greatly appreciate you stopping by. He's, in my opinion, one of my favorite listens on U.S. men's national team. He talks a lot of sense into me. I wear a little of my. Sometimes I get not wrapped up. I react. I react to what I'm reading, and to me, what I'm reading is what's the truth right now. I recognize that what we're dealing with is the present. The past is the past. The future is the future. What are we dealing with now? We're dealing with a new world where USA can actually walk in, punch Wales in the gut, take Wales' best punch, and be like, all right, we're going on to England. Yeah, we fucked this one up, but and it was a no decision, half decision, split decision, so to speak. If you're talking about in wrestling or in fighting terms, split decision, but all the same, we all know who won that game. And we can take solace in that as an American fan. I think that's going to be huge because a lot of us were expecting that. Let's move on to the next game. What to be expected? USA, they're the underdog going on to take Britain. We know that much. We're not expected to win. We're expected to lose, similar as Iran lost. Iran lost 6-2 today. They think USA will lose 3-1, maybe 3-2, maybe 2-0. If USA can score a goal. But USA can score goals. I saw a team today that can score goals. I saw a team today that had resilience and resolve. I saw a team today that played with what Landon, I think it was Landon Donovan in one of his podcasts, was just talking about, like, carefree. They played carefree. They didn't play like they had the pressure of America's last 8 years of not being at a World Cup on their shoulders. They played like they love soccer and they knew how to fucking do it. They played like we've heard the whole world talk shit, but we practice to each other. We practice with each other. We run drills with each other. And we've played against you. So not only do we have that where we feel good about ourselves, but we've played against you and we've played with our boys. And we like our boys. We like our fucking boys. USA loves its fucking team right now. This team is going to be making a run right now before our eyes like we haven't seen in so long. It is magic encapsulated. No matter how this ride ends, should it come to end at the end of this group stage, I think we're going to have a lot to talk about for the next 4 years, a lot to be excited about, a lot of fuel in the fire, a lot of base to build upon, because this is just the beginning. A lot of us are forgetting, this is the beginning of a new era, a new set. This is only Christian Pulisic's first World Cup. He's 22. He's got another one. He's going to be 28 next time runs around to World Cup USA. We don't have to look that far ahead right now. Let's enjoy the World Cup we are in. But I'm just saying, this USA team, let's try to keep it in perspective that they're growing. They're going to be becoming something, as well as the rest of the world becoming something. And I think that the USA, in a way like it has never been able to do before, is able to throw off what the world used to think about it in the soccer terms. And it's like, we're done with the Ted Lasso representation. We are here. We're going to play you. We're going to punch you in your fucking mouth. You're going to bleed. You're going to lose a fucking couple teeth. You're going to think like, oh shit, is this hockey? And we're going to fucking say this right after we peel the ball out of the back of the net. No, this is soccer, motherfucker. You can go back and play your football in England, but we play soccer in the USA, and we play soccer to win. Let's fucking go! USA, let's fucking go. USA, take it all the way. I'm gonna do a little quack, 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 little D3 Mighty Ducks. Whew. Oh, it's D2, isn't it? D2 Mighty Ducks. And the knuckle puck with Keenan. Oh man, guys. What a wave of emotions this World Cup is going to be. We dealt with it. We rewrote, we addressed a lot of topics. And I think that we're in store for a lot more excitement, a lot more surprise. And a few more heroes will emerge for the U.S. men's national team. And right now, I think that Christian Pulisic as hero is emerging. Tim Weah is emerging. This midfield of Tyler Adams, Musa, and McKennie is emerging as heroes. We're seeing something special right before our eyes. And that's what I wondered about the tournament at the very beginning. I wondered what's the feeling I'm going to be feeling at the end of that first game? What's the feeling I'm going to be feeling at the end of the second game against England? What's the feeling I'm going to be feeling against that third game against Iran? And should we make it any farther? What will those feelings evoke? After that, enjoy the tournament, what else happens, but we're finally back. USA, good to be back. What a ride. What a first game. A lot to build on, a lot of success. And I think that even though we might have been disappointed and we didn't get the win that a lot of us wanted, this will get a few heads in America to go, ooh, World Cup? Ooh. World, what's over there? What's happening over there in the World Cup? And another thing to be said is that when they always say, like, oh, what if America's best athletes went and played soccer? You're seeing that. You're seeing that right now. You're seeing some of the best athletes in America play soccer for the nation. People always put that graphic up. Oh, what if LeBron and all these other great American athletes played soccer? The great American athletes that play soccer and good at soccer are playing soccer. The Brendan Aronsons, the Christian Pulisic's, the Tyler Adamses, the Eunice Musas, I almost said McKennie, the Weston McKennies, the Tim Reams from years past. And another thing, Tim Ream coming out of nowhere to just be the old man on this team, that the old head that calms these guys down and acts as another captain on the field. That's a lot to be said about him. Guys, I'm excited. We'll see you guys next Friday. We'll see you guys this Friday for USA versus England. I'll be live here on Spitting Fire for that game for sure. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. We'll catch you on the next stream. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys later. Have a great one. Fired up footballers. Let's go. Incredible result. Upwards and onwards. USA. 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 Let's go. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one.